Stephanie from History Hustle, and I'm standing here in Bogor on the island of Java here in Indonesia. And in this video I'll talk about the British invasion of Java. Because not a lot of people know this, but the Dutch possession in the East Indies, current Indonesia, were under British rule from 1811 till 1814. Governed by Lieutenant Governor Thomas Raffles, the man who later would found the trading post and lay the foundation for the city of Singapore. And he was seated here in this palace behind me, here in Bogor, back in the day called Bogor. And here in the botanic gardens of Bogor, that's where the Europeans could withdraw themselves from the hectic and warm environment of Jakarta, back in the day called Batavia. Alright, back to Europe, from before 1811. In 1789, the French Revolution took place. France went from a monarchy to a republic. They beheaded their king a few years later. Now in 1799, Napoleon Bonaparte seized power in France and crowned himself as an emperor in 1804. He waged many wars with European countries like England, Prussia, Austria and Russia. And these wars combined are also known as the Napoleontic Wars. Now England came with the idea to attack the overseas possessions of France and the Netherlands. And in August and September 1811, the British attacked the Dutch possessions in East India, current Indonesia. The British got ashore at the beginning of August 1811 at an unguarded fishing village east of Batavia. By the time Dutch-French reinforcements arrived, 9 hours later, the British got 8,000 men ashore. The Dutch and the French were not able to push them back, so they had to retreat. Dutch commander Jan Willem Janssens did not defend Batavia and withdrew his troops to Fort Cornutus, more to the south of Batavia. Janssen thought that tropical diseases would decimate the British force, but he couldn't be more wrong, because at the 10th of August, the British troops conquered and occupied Fortress Verdun, and from there they launched their attack to Fortress Cornutus. During the month of August, heavy fighting took place in and around Fortress Cornutus, and the British took over part after part of the fortress, partially because of their firepower, but also because of treason, because the Indian troops overall were not very loyal, and many deserted to the British. At the end of August, after heavy fighting, the British finally took over Fortress Cornutus. The Dutch-French troops, or what was left of them, withdrew to Bogor. But after the British Marine took over many coastal places and the British Army conquered many territories of Java, many Indian soldiers started killing their officers. And the Dutch commander, Jan Willem Janssens, had no other option than to surrender to the British, which happened on the 18th of September 1811. With Java conquered, the British had now the whole East Indies in their hands. Lieutenant Governor Thomas Raffles set up a new administration system, and he also expanded the trade. The British rule was ended in 1840 with the Treaty of Paris, and the territories of the East Indies were ceded back to the Dutch. And in 1860, these territories became part of the Kingdom of the Netherlands and were from then on called the Dutch East Indies.